Truth be told, bro. Truth be told. You guys want to know the easiest, most simplest way to detect a monitoring spirit? And this is if they try to connect with you. If you genuinely feel like when a person is talking to you, they're almost putting on an act. Like the words that are coming out of their mouth towards yourself, it's not genuine. It's like they're saying something to you, and it's like you're just skeptical about whatever it is that they're saying. You just feel like it's not genuine. You feel like they're saying it for a reason, and you don't even know the reason why they're saying it. They're just saying it for some sort of reason. There's some people, bro, that'll keep up with you sometimes. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of there. They're the lurkers. They're just kind of there for the benefit. They don't really care about you. In fact, they're envious of yourself. They're just kind of there. It's that so-called friend that just reaches out every now and then, but when you want to talk about something, they're nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be found. Nowhere. But they enjoy just being there. They enjoy just lurking, just being there. When they feel it's going to benefit them, they'll reach out to you. But that's about it. They just want to be there. They just want to make sure that you still remember them. That's all they want to do. They don't want to talk about anything real. They don't actually want to have a conversation. They're just there for their own gain and benefit. This is a monitoring spirit. This is not your friend. This is not your girl. Some females be like this, bro, that you might be dealing with. And I'm telling you full well right now, that ain't your girl. You guys might have some family members like this. They don't have your heart of best interest. I wouldn't even consider them a family member. There were certain family members, bro, I had to cut off a long time ago. And I couldn't imagine how toxic things would be to this day if I was to even conversate with them right now. The amount of envy, the amount of hate, the amount of jealousy would be out of this world. I see this life, bro, as something truly divine and magical. I don't attach myself to anything. I forget half the time people even exist. Because I'm just busy doing. And obviously not all people, but it's like there's sometimes, bro, there's certain people I forget they even existed until they pop back up again being nosy. It's quite the thing. But yeah, I just see life as divine, magical, and it's also a brutal place, obviously, but there's magic in this world. And I want to be at that higher conscious, that higher vibration, not at war all the time, even though sometimes you have to go to war. We have to search for the higher thing. In fact, you can be at war sometimes and still be searching for that higher thing. It's just how it goes. Sometimes something's going to happen to you. Sometimes something's going to happen to me, and it's going to throw us off a bit, but we have to stay level-headed. We have to stay focused. We have to keep doing what we're doing and search for that magic that's in this world. And I'll tell you something right now. I don't search for it in people. Some people do. And I don't recommend it because people's going to let you down. You think you're going to find magic in people? Find the magic in life, and then you will have your way with people. It will be mutually beneficial. You don't want to be dealing with no bummy people. I don't. Never will again for the rest of my life. For the rest of my human years, I will not do it. I hold standards in every regard. I hold a high standard for myself. I hold high standards for the people around me. And people who don't really have a standard for themselves seem to dislike me the most because you're just a floater. You just do whatever all the time, and you're not really structured in any way, and you have no self-control, no discipline, and it shows in them. And the fact that you have so much, it threatens them. It threatens who they are, and your growth exposes their lack of growth. This is when things get out of hand, folks. This is another reason why it's so hard for chosen ones to keep friends, because it's always like, you're just always going to keep going, and just as a year goes by, another and another, you just keep hitting these new levels, and they might not be. That's going to cause some issues. But with real friends, that will never happen. It's just this exposes a lot of so-called friends most of the time. You hit a certain level, bro, you're not going to hear from one of your boys ever again. Ever. You're not going to hear from them again. Trust me, you won't. You even hit certain levels, bro, there's going to be some chicks that's envious of you. You're not going to hear from them either. Because they're living in denial. Straight denial. And let them. That's what they have to do to feel good in life. Let them live in denial. You're going to keep living the life you live, and it's going to be without them, and you don't want them either. You're not going to want them either. There was a time in the past where we might have thought, we don't want to lose certain people or something like this. I don't think that way no more whatsoever. I'm not afraid to lose anybody in particular. It don't matter, because I know what people are like. When you know what people are like, when you have experience with what people are like, how could you care when you've been shown this already? How could you possibly care? It's stupid to care. You're putting care into a false reality. That people's just going to be loyal to you no matter what. They're going to be your friend no matter what. Not all the time. In fact, most of the time, it won't happen. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I trust disciplined people the most out of anybody else. Because I know a lot of people in life, they're not that disciplined. And it just seems like as time keeps going on, life is catching up to them, and it's hitting them because they're not growing. They're not demanding growth from themselves. They're just not growing as a person. I think it's easy. I naturally live in a growth-oriented type of way. It's easy. You just keep, bro, a part of growth is just having the daily disciplines and routines all the time. Doing your work, having your daily routines and disciplines, you're naturally going to grow over time. There's nothing that significant I've done to just grow like Jack and the Beanstalk. There's nothing that significant. It's over time of doing the same stuff all the time. That's how you grow. You don't grow in the gym for going 1 week, eating good and stuff, and then stop. You're not going to see a difference. You're not going to see nothing. It's that whole year where you ate almost picture perfect and showed up 5-6 days a week. You're going to see something then, because it takes time. It's discipline and it's time. How long can you stay on top of your stuff for? How bad do you want it? Because that is what it comes down to, and I'm going to tell you guys something right now. The amount of monitoring spirits you will have when you're that kind of a person, ridiculous. Because most people don't live that life. They let themselves go. They gain way too much unnecessary weight. How can you even do that? I don't understand. I can't relate. That's the thing. Obviously, many people in the world is that way. They know why they do it. They can relate to each other. I can't. I can't understand it. My body has to be on point. My mind has to be on point. Everything has to be on point. It's just how I operate, because I know how it feels to be like that. And I know how it feels to just not have a normal diet. Like when I was a teenager and then got up to the age of an older teenager, I wasn't dieting perfect. I felt it started to catch up to me, and all of a sudden I'm on a diet. I'm in the gym full time. I'm doing all that kind of stuff. I know the difference. It's a night and day difference. And I was even still in shape when I was like that. It's just a night and day difference. We're talking me being like in kind of good shape to just like elite. That's the difference. So how could I ever go back to what I know feels so great? With so much energy, enthusiasm, creativity, the will to win, the drive. How could I go back? It would be miserable. I can't do it. So when you really set yourself apart, bro, you're going to have monitoring spirits. A lot of people around you, bro, is going to start to become jealous and envious. They used to say good things about you, but it's like they can't no more because you're going too far. You're doing too good. They just can't say much anymore because you're doing better. You're outdoing them. You're doing better. Because you've been grinding for longer, for harder, like you've been grinding harder and for longer. And being more precise, picture perfect as they want to be more undisciplined, do all those things and make mistakes. You haven't. So you're going to surpass people, bro. They're just going to become like everybody else, another monitoring spirit who's kind of watching you and stuff. And when you talk to them, when you see them somewhere out and about or something, it's just like you feel like that genuineness that you once maybe had with that person just ain't there no more. And it's because you have changed for the better. They've they're just kind of going down. They're getting a bit older and they're just kind of going down and they're not doing anything about it. And whose fault is that? This is why you can't depend on friends. This is why you can't rely on friends. You can't rely on family. You can't rely on anybody besides yourself at the end of the day. You can't rely on the chick either. Are you kidding me? Not to say something can't work out with some woman forever. It could. But you can't rely on it. You rely on yourself. And that is what actually makes you a man in the first place, is by relying on yourself, having all your stuff together, taking your life 100% dead on serious. That is what does it. You're here to shine. You're here to grind. You're going to get the job done. And you're going to keep compounding, pounding every single day. You ain't getting away from it. So, you're going to notice a lot of weird activities from people, and what's funny is, for one, they're not on your level. They think they're fooling you. They're not. None of them are. Not one person. They do things and you know exactly what they're doing. You know why they did it. You know why they said it. It's almost like you're just this emperor that just has everybody's number. When some dumb idiot comes around sometimes and starts talking some kind of a way, asking you a weird question, thinking they're actually fooling you, and you're sitting there the whole time and you're just like, ridiculous. Not on your level. Come on. Come on, boy. Give me 100 push-ups. You're still not close. Give me 500. Oh, you're still not close. I'm just being a dick at this point, but you guys get the point. You just get the point. You just get the point. This is what it comes down to. Life is what you make it. And when you really make it, guess what? A lot of people's going to be upset. A lot of people around you is going to be upset. Your own people might turn on you. That's why you depend on yourself. You don't depend on another human being. And it don't mean you don't treat others that come around you great. You do. But you're just dependent on yourself to perform. You're dependent on yourself to work wonders in this world. So you can actually be a solid friend, a solid family member, a solid relationship partner. Because you're self-reliant. You're dependent on yourself. You're not looking at nobody else. I need a relationship. I need a friend. Oh, I need to hang out with a friend this weekend. I need to go on something with a friend. Hey, why? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You guys want to talk about self-identity? It's going to be hard to match mine. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be hard to match my self-identity. No one has a clue, bro, how much work I put in for the last 10 years of my life. It's out of this world. It exceeds profession. It really does, bro. And you know why I say that? Because I know how professionals operate. And I know how I operate. Professionals take breaks. When have I ever taken a break? I know, and God knows. I've been locked in. Ever since some traumatic stuff happened in my past about 10 years ago, I've been locked in. I'll never be fooled like that again. I'll never be disrespected like that again. It lit a fire under me, and it ignited me. We're talking locked in, bud. And when you're that kind of a guy, or girl, or whatever you are, you're going to have a lot of people watching you. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on you. Why? Because you become an interesting person over time from how you live your life. Period. How you live your life makes you an interesting person. How David Goggins lived his life has made him an interesting public figure of a person. Same as The Undertaker, same as Randy Orton, same as Conor McGregor. Whoever, random people. Polarizing figures because of how they live their life and the disciplines and just who they are. And all the people from the past, bro, they're going to be watching you with binoculars. People you even met over the last couple years, they're going to be watching hard. You're going to start to kind of distance yourself from those people because you know what's going on. Some shady stuff. You're not the same person you were a year ago. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. There's a good chance those people might be. If not worse. Most people I know, bro, are getting worse. They're not even the same. They're getting worse. They're not getting better. They're literally getting worse. So when you're going the opposite way, you think for a second you're going to be cool with them? You think for a second you're going to be on good terms with those people? You going so high, bud? You're going so high to the sky. You will be surprised who falls off. You will be surprised. Not me, though. And you know why? Because everything I'm saying right now is what has happened to me at one point in my life. I could not possibly be surprised another time. I don't care. I'm going with the flow of life. I do not care. I just don't. I'm locked in. That's what I care about. And if people want to come around, if people want to act right, if people want to be correct, very best. I will be too. If people want to come around and act shady, I'm going to get more distant. We ain't going to be cool no more. And that's how it's going to be. I'm not just sitting around to make myself be the same, to make you comfortable. I am ferocious. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. For such a long time, bro, some people probably thought that was a joke about yourself. They didn't think you were going to keep going. They didn't think you were going to keep battling. They didn't think you were going to keep leveling up. As time goes on, and you look back at yourself 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and look right now, look how far you've come, bro. That's when you're going to start to silence everybody. And they're going to realize, oh damn, he is him. She is her. That guy, he is him. And they're going to have such a hard time admitting that fact. But you is in. And it's not just because of some divine miracle. It's because you chose to be in. Because you was chosen. It's just destiny. And this is exactly why, folks, you will have a lot of monitoring spirits. End of story.